Along comes Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders to say it's those evil rich people. And if we just take all of their money, we can solve these problems. All that will do is mean that everybody's poor. And the government will continue to spend all the money. That won't solve a single problem. And, we are going to, as a society, have to get serious about how we do this. Now, one way to very quickly jumpstart the economy is recognize that our tax structure is ridiculous. 75 to 80,000 pages long is our tax code. And we have a tax code that stifles innovation, creativity, entrepreneurial risk-taking, capital investment. Those are the things that have driven America in the past. Recognize how creative we are. We declared our independence in 1776, less than 100 years from that time. We're the #1 economic power in the world. I mean, that's unprecedented. Nobody can do anything like that. It's because we possess the most powerful and dynamic economic engine the world has ever known. It's just that we will not allow it to function with our tax code and our regulations. And that's why, we've proposed a new tax system. And you can read in depth about it in our website, bencarson.com. In fact, you can read in depth about lots of policies at bencarson.com. I think we have much more policy than anybody else out there. And it's not just bullet points. I mean, it is real policy. And, Forbes has praised our tax plan. The Wall Street Journal, Cato Institute, many financial institutions have said it is spectacular because it's a pro-growth plan. And I make no bones about the fact that I based it on the Bible because I think God's a pretty fair guy. And he said, I want a tithe. He didn't say if you have a bumper crop, you owe me triple tithe. And if your crops fail, you don't owe me anything. So there must be something inherently fair about proportionality. You make $10 billion a year, you pay $1 billion. You make $10 a year, you pay $1. You get the same rights and privileges. What could be more fair than that? You get rid of all the loopholes, deductions, shelters, because you know how people will manipulate everything to take advantage of those. So you just get rid of them. They don't exist anymore. And no double taxation. No estate tax, no capital gains tax. Nothing that has been taxed before gets taxed again. That's what's going to create tremendous growth. The flat tax rate, 14.9%. And it starts at the 150% poverty level. People beneath that level pay a different rate, but they still have to pay something because everybody has to have skin in the game. You can't have millions of people who pay nothing but get a say on how much the others pay. See, that doesn't make any sense. What we have to do is start doing things that actually make sense. And at 14.9%, you also don't have such a barrier that corporate profits from overseas don't come back into our country. Right now, there's over $2.1 trillion overseas. It's not being brought back because of a 35% corporate tax rate. I can remember many an afternoon sitting around the boardroom table at Costco or Kellogg, where I spent decades, talking about billions of dollars here and billions of dollars here. What are we going to do with them? Can't bring them back because of that high corporate tax rate. Well, what I've advocated is a 6-month window, a hiatus, tax-free. That money can be repatriated to this country. But there's only one stipulation, and it's a good stipulation. 10% of it has to be used in enterprise zones and to create jobs for people who are unemployed, underemployed, or on welfare. You want to talk about a stimulus. That would be the biggest stimulus in America since FDR's New Deal, and it wouldn't cost the taxpayers 1 penny. That's low-hanging fruit. Those are easy things. And that will really stimulate particularly the inner cities, but, communities throughout the country will be greatly stimulated. And, it also gets corporate America to start thinking about the whole concept of investing in the people around them. It's something that they used to do to a much greater extent, but then the government took it over. The government starts saying, we will take care of all the poor people. Some of you remember Johnson's pledge to get rid of poverty, a war on poverty. We're going to eliminate, the government's going to eliminate poverty. How'd that work out? $19 trillion later, we have 10 times more people on food stamps, more poverty, more welfare, broken homes out of wedlock birth, crime, incarceration. All the things that were supposed to be better are not only worse, they're much worse. Why? Because it's not the government's job. There's nowhere in the Constitution that says that's the government's job. Now, maybe that when they read the Constitution, they read the preamble and they misinterpreted it. Because it says to promote the general welfare. It doesn't say put everybody on general welfare. But I think maybe they misinterpreted what it actually means.